And welcome back to a special episode of Behind the Mic that is now powered by Reps for Responders. My boy Frank Vose is here, and the guest that we have needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce him because I am a big hip-hop fan. I grew up listening to this iconic group that broke barriers and created a culture that I grew up loving. So without further ado, DMC from Run DMC. How are you, my brother?
How you doing? Thank you for having me. Thank you for getting me here, Frank.
I appreciate you for coming on the show, taking your time, and speaking with us.
No doubt.
DMC, known as Darryl McDaniels, is his government name. Darryl McDaniels Jr. I'm sorry, I don't mean to mess that up. So me, first and foremost, I'm a huge fan. Grew up listening to your music. I actually shared a story with you on the way up here that
we met before.
I met this man when I was about 7 or 8 years old at a Western Union with my father, and I shook his hand. And it's funny how the world comes around full circle now. I'm sitting down, and I'm getting to interview you right now. So I just want to let you know that it's an honor and a pleasure to sit down and interview a rap icon.
Thank you.
So first and foremost, let the people know where you grew up. Where you from, man?
I grew up in Hollis, Queens, New York.
Hollis, Queens, New York, right?
Yeah, St. Albans, Jamaica.
Okay.
Familiar with most people.
All right. So how did you discover rap music?
Well, I went to Catholic school my whole life.
Okay.
Catholic elementary, Catholic high school, Catholic college, St. John's for 2 semesters.
St. John's University.
Yeah, exactly. So
full Catholic school. Okay, cool.
So I was in the 7th grade, and the 8th grader, Billy Morris, came into the schoolyard, and he had a flat tape recorder. This is before boom boxes.
Yeah.
It was the flat tape recorders from back in the day. And he was like, yo, come here. And he was the older kid, and we was like, no. You know what I'm saying? Because we was like, yo, he probably want us to smoke reefer. It wasn't chronic, and it was reefer. He probably want us to smoke reefer or something. He probably want us to drink Night Train or Wild Irish Rose. That was the 99-cent liquors that was out in the hood. So he was like, I ain't going to say it again. So once you get hit with that, you got to go.
Got to go over there.
But it was, I was in a comic book, so it was me and 2 of my friends. I was like, it's 3 of us and 1 of him. If he tries anything, we're going to jump him.
Okay.
But we walked over to Billy. He pulled out the tape recorder, and he said, listen. He pushed play. And we just heard a beat go, doom, dat, doom, doom, dat, doom, doom, dat, doom, doom, dat. And then a voice said, and it was so inspirational. We didn't know what it was. It was like when you mess around in New York town, you go down with the disco Chiba clown. You go down, go down, go down. And then it said to us, you just keep the pep in your step. You don't stop till you get on the mountaintop. And when you reach the top, you reach your peak. That's when you hear Eddie Chiba speak. And it stopped. We was like, do that again. We stood there for 3 hours listening to whatever that was. We didn't know what it was, but it was like every bone, every part, every ad, that's me. This is speaking for me. And that was the opening because of that tape. Mm-hmm. This was in June before summertime recess.
Okay.
So because of that tape, now all summer I'm realizing the block parties and the park parties is doing what they was doing on Billy's tape. So this was 1978.
1978. So this is like the early stages of hip-hop.
Yeah, no records is out yet.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
so you are truly in the birth stages of hip-hop. Yeah. So did you go get a notebook and start writing down
No, that was later. That was later. The thing that happened after that. So now I'm open. But I'm still not caring, though.
Yeah.
Because I'm a kid. It's about my bikes, Apollo 5 speeds, choppers, comic books. My favorite movies of all time is the Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, Wolfman, Frankenstein, Dracula, black and white Godzilla movies from the 60s, Jetsons, Flintstones. Like, we are all products of pop culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of that. So that's who I'm in. But now because of the tape, I'm stopping every once in a while, and I'm looking at the what they doing in the parks at the block parties. So I would just sit there and I would watch the van come in the park. Like the parks was the sprinklers, basketball, handball.
Yeah.
You know, girls to slide, the swings and all that. But then about 8:30, 9 o'clock, you would see the van or the station wagon pull up to the park, and then they would drive into the park over by the park house, and they would unload the records and the speakers and all of that, and they would pop the light, the street lamp, you know, they would plug everything up, play the music. So I'm a kid, I would stop on my bike and check it out. They turn the music up real loud or whatever. But I was young, so I had to be in the house when the street lamps came on.
Yeah, I'm familiar with
that. So I would
that.
go home and I would sit in the house, and I lived about 15 blocks from the park, but I could still hear the music in my block. Boom, 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 boom. And you would see everybody that could stay out. It was like the Walking Dead. Everybody, when the boom, boom from the park would start, everybody would go to the park.
Start migrating towards the
and go
music.
to the park. So what had happened was tapes started coming from the Bronx in Manhattan and Harlem. So in the beginning, the big thing was Flash tapes.
Okay.
So it caught my ear because I'm a comic book dude. Flash in the comic books is the only Flash I know, but they're talking about this guy named Grandmaster Flash who's he's taking Good Times, the record, and going, good times, good. So in the beginning, it was Flash tapes. I wanted to be a DJ.
Okay.
So I became a DJ in my basement, me and my brother.
Oh, so you was a DJ first?
I was Grandmaster Get High, because you didn't need reefer or Old English to intoxicate you, because my music would intoxicate you.
Oh, my God, I love this.
So we didn't sell weed. Like the kids that sold weed had money.
Yeah.
The stick-up kids, the kids that sold weed, and the kids that had real jobs, they had turntables and Adidas and Pumas. The poor kids, I was wearing 69ers. You know what I'm saying? So me and my brother, we had a problem. We didn't sell weed, so we was broke. But I had a huge comic book collection.
Okay.
And Marvel was my thing because Stan Lee, DC was cool, but Stan Lee put the superheroes really in New York City.
Yep.
So every time I opened a Marvel comic book, here's a kid that can't leave the block, but Stan Lee made sure I knew about Harlem because of the comic books. I knew about the Lower East Side, the LES. I knew about Hell's Kitchen because of you know what I'm saying?
You got Peter Parker in your neighborhood.
Peter Parker from Queens. Yeah. So I was getting the other kids, they was going to, this is funny, they was going to see Superfly and Shaft movies, Pam Grier movies, and learn about what was going on in Harlem. I didn't have to go to the movies because Stan Lee was giving it to me in my comic books. So in the beginning, me and my brother, we did a comic book sale to get 2 turntables and a mixer.
Okay.
So I just became Grandmaster. I was Grandmaster Get High in my basement, trying to be like Grandmaster Flash.
Yeah.
So then, around this time, it was just tapes. Zulu Nation tapes, Africa Bambaataa tapes, Furious 5 and Furious 4 tapes, and Furious 5 tapes. Because first it was Grandmaster Flash and the 3 MCs, then it was Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 4, then it was the Furious 5, Funky 4+1, all of that. So it was just tapes.
We're getting educated
Then
in hip-hop right now.
everybody's going to know this. Rapper's Delight comes out, the record.
Come on now. Yeah.
Rapper's Delight comes out. So that was like an explosion. But then my brother brought home this record that said Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 super rapping. So that caught my eyes because I'm into superheroes. Yeah. I was like, because Rapper's Delight was, hip hop, the hibbit. It was cool.
Yeah.
And the thing I liked about Rapper's Delight was Big Bang Hank's rhyme.
Okay.
Because it was about Superman.
Yeah.
Comic book Superman. Like I didn't know what the disco was. I'm a kid.
Yeah.
But when I heard there was something about Hank's rhyme that was flyer than the other 2 rhymes.
Yeah.
Which later on, once I got into the music business myself, I found out Big Bang's Hank rhyme was Grandmaster Caz rhyme from the Cold Crush.
Really?
Yes, I'm the CASN, the OVA. Grandmaster Cas originally was Grandmaster Casanova.
Oh.
Big Bang Hank.
I met Grandmaster Cass too. Just
Yeah,
so you know.
he's one of the legends of our
Legend.
hip hop. So my brother brings home this record that says Super Rapid. I'm like, yo, that's the Grandmaster Flash guy. And it's, what's the hell is the Furious 5? So if you remember, Rappers of Light was a long-ass record with 3 rappers rapping a long time.
Yeah.
Super Rapid, my brother put the needle on this record. It didn't come on hip hop. This thing came on. It was a party night. Everybody was breaking. The highs was screaming and the bass was shaking. And it won't be long till everybody's knowing that Flash is on the B-box going. And I'm like, yo, what is this? It was more energetic. It was more youthful. And then it goes. Now, remember, Rappers of Light was first guy rhyme a long time, second guy rhyme a long time, third guy rhyme a long time, little break, first guy rhyme a long time. But this record opened like that, and then a voice said, Italian, Caucasian, Japanese, Spanish, Indian, Negro, Vietnamese, MC, disc jockeys, y'all, fly kids for the young ladies. And then 5 different dudes go, introducing the crew, you gotta see to believe. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 MCs. One dude said, I'm Melly Mel and I rock it so well. And then the second dude said, and I'm Mr. Ness because I rock the best. The third dude said, Raheem and all the ladies dream. And the fourth dude said, Cowboy and I'll make you jump for joy. Then the fifth dude said, Creole. The other 4 dudes said, Solid Gold, Kid Creole. Playing it. That's when I went running. Give me a pen. Give me a pen. I went running to my basement. Alfred, give me a pen. Because now I'm putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
The DJ plays the record, and then the MC say the rhymes.
Copy
so
that.
in my basement, I became Grandmaster Get High and MC Easy D. I was 2
MC Easy D.
entities in my basement. So that's what had me started writing rhymes.
Okay. All right. So you got a little inspiration and started as a DJ and then brought yourself over as an MC.
Because I was trying to understand it. Like, I would sit there like Tony Starks, trying to figure out
superhero. Yeah, your own armor.
Yeah.
So real quick, when with Biggie, right? In the song like "Break It Up," who was that?
What's that?
Like in the Big movie, Christopher Wallace, Notorious Big.
Bro, the Curtis Blow.
Yeah, and he was like, the train comes off the tracks, break it up, break it up. Is that the same type of music that?
The same, everybody heard, yep. That was the whole, and here's what's powerful about Biggie. When I speak at schools, I blow his minds. Biggie's idols wasn't Al Pacino or Scarface. It wasn't all the gangsters. Listen to his first record. On What a Dream. Who did he say was his idols? Salt and Pepper, Heavy D up in a limousine, Rap Attacks. So this guy that was selling crack to feed his baby, he saw legitimacy, no guns, no violence as the thing that he wanted to be. That was the powerful thing. It was all a dream. He didn't say, I wanted to be like Frank Nitty and all of this. He said, I saw Salt and Pepper. Would Heavy D hurt a fly? No, but that was Salt and Pepper, Mr. Magic Rap Attack. That was power to him.
I used to read Word Up
and it's a
magazine
shame
and all that,
how he went out.
Yeah, man.
He named his, first of all, he named his album what?
Ready to Die.
What happened to his ass? I'll keep it real, kids. They go,
manifested it.
They go, and then I ask the kids this. I say, now me, on my album cover, I'm taking a picture next to an ice cream truck with fucking ice cream cones and ducklings and poodles and puppies like this. What? I asked the kids, what did he take a picture next to like it was cool?
Yeah.
Hearse.
You got to think about his 2 albums, right?
Think
you got
about
Ready
it.
to Die and Life After
After
Death.
Death.
And it's almost like
All prophetic. No, it's all prophetic.
Do you think that he knew deep, like psychologically, that he was so in deep that he felt like he couldn't get out? And it was
Well, no, what happened was you get turned on by, like, Ice-T always say, yo, Run DMC and Jay made Positivity Gangster. You get turned on by thinking your representation has to be something negative to be accepted in the streets. It bugged me out my whole life when you talk about the streets are just considered pimping, hoeing, drug dealing, violence, and gay. But that's not true. In the same streets, motherfucking girls is over there playing double dutch.
Yeah.
Over there, they playing Skelly.
Yeah.
In the streets, there's the dude you know going to jail, but the kid that you know is going to college. You know the kid that's going to be the athlete. There's always the artistic kid in the hood.
Kid reading the comic books.
So hip-hop is talking about the total representation of the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I just bring the B.I.G. thing up here. He listened to the same thing I listened to. He was selling crack. I'm in Catholic school. But it was the hip-hop that empowered us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when I'm writing my rhymes, this other kid that I didn't know, we just went to the same school, named Joseph Simmons, comes over to my backyard to play basketball in the backyard one day.
That's what I wanted to get into right there. So you meet Joseph Simmons, right?
In the 8th grade.
In the 8th grade. So what year is this?
79.
79.
Yep.
So you meet Joseph Simmons.
1979.
When does God Rest the Dead Jam-Master Jay come into play?
He don't come in until we make our first record. But he's in the neighborhood.
He's in the neighborhood as well.
Yeah. I had met Jay before I met Joe. Because my best friend was this kid named Douglas Hayes Butter Love. He played on the CYO, Catholic Youth Organization. CYO was big in the PAL. He played in the basketball league. So Butter was on the varsity team. Another New York legend, Mark Jackson.
Ooh,
St.
Queens in the building.
John's,
Yes, sir.
New York Knicks. He was
of the
JV.
New York City's point guards.
So people would come to the games to see Mark play and score 40, but then you would stay to see Fat Butter score 50. Butter was nice. So Butter was my man growing up. Butter did two things for me. Gave me street cred. Butter was nice on the court, and he was nice with his hands. So all the thugs in the neighborhood, Butter knocked out. So me being his boy, that's Butter boy with the glasses. I got contacts in now, but I would always wear glasses so nobody would mess with me. So me and Butter, we ran together, and I had met Jay, and I met Jay and DJ Hurricane, who was the Beastie Boys DJ.
Yes.
In Hollis, through Butter. But then Run comes over, and we play basketball. And usually when we play basketball, the rule when you was a kid was, if there's no adults home, you can't have company.
Yeah.
So usually I would bring the water out to the kids and give them, but this particular day was just Joe. It was like, come on in. My mother and father don't get home till 4. Come on in to get the water. And he sees my brother's turntables.
Yeah.
So he goes, yo, my brother's Russell Rush. So at the time, Russell was a party promoter. He was one of the there was a bunch up in the Bronx, Manhattan, and all. But Russell was a party promoter out of Queens that was promoting all the parties with Curtis Blow, Grandmaster Flash, Crash Crew, Africa Bambaataa, DJ Hollywood. He was a party promoter at the time. And he was managing Curtis Blow. So Run goes, yeah, my brother's Russell Russ. I know you see the flyers, because remember, it's flyers back in the day.
Yeah.
Staple them to the telephone pole and all that. And he was like, yeah, my brother's Russell Russ, this and that, boom, 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 bang. He runs it down to me. So now I'm like a little open.
And those flyers, people back in the day started, when people saw that, that was like people showed up. That was legit.
That was
it.
our
That was the
Instagram.
social media, right?
Yeah,
that was it.
100%. So Run tells me his brother's that guy. So I'm like, this, whatever. And he asked me, do you do this? And I go, no. At first I was like, I didn't want, because it was my private thing. But then he starts going, yeah, man, during the summertime, I can't go with Kurt during school, because, he's a school kid.
Yeah.
But in the summertime, Kurt takes me, I do shows with Crash Crew, DJ Hollywood, Africa Bambaataa. So he starts naming all the people that's on these tapes and records.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, I'm good. I can do a little something. So he says, show me. So I go over to the turntables and I do the quick mix and all of that stuff. So what we would do every day was we would get out of school 2:15. My mother and father get home 4 o'clock. Usually we would play basketball from 2:30 to 4. But since Run and me now connecting with this DJ thing, we would play basketball for a shorter time. And then from 3:15 to 3:45, we go in the basement and DJ. So we were just DJing at first. And I taught Run how to mix and all that. But then one day he finds my rhyme book. And I would always hide my rhyme, because my rhyme book was like my diary.
Yeah.
I would just talk about, I'm Easy D, my name is Darryl, and the things that I did in life. So he finds my rhyme book one day, and he's just basically, yo, D, you wrote this? And I'm busy trying to get it back from him, like, it's like my diary. He was like, yo, chill. This is real good. And he just looks at me and he says, yo, whenever my brother because now Rappers and Lighters out, Message, all the
it's starting
records
to pick
out.
up.
Curtis Blow had released the Breaks, Christmas Rappers. So records is out. So Run is right there at 12 years old, watching hip hop be made in the business of hip hop made in his living room because his brother's doing hip hop business.
Yeah, he's at the forefront.
I'm getting the tapes. I'm on the artistic side. He's seeing Flash, Hollywood, all in his living room coming to get their money. He's learning about promotion and marketing and all that. So he looks at me and he goes, when my brother lets me make a record, I'm putting you in my group. And I looked at him, I was like, what the hell are you talking? What? I don't know. But it was like a foreign language. Like, no, whoa, wait. You do this shit with Curtis Blow, and I don't.
Yeah.
This is just playtime for
I want
me.
you to join the Avengers.
I mean, right. And he just laughed at me, said, all right. And that was the day that,
Run DMC was born.
was born. Because we graduated from 8th grade. Mm-hmm. But me and Run, we went to different high schools.
Okay.
I went to Rice High School. 124th Street in Lennox. It was an all-boys Catholic high school.
yeah, Felipe
known for
Lopez.
basketball. Yeah,
Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
I'm a New York guy too,
yeah.
so you already
So you
know.
know Rice.
Yeah.
So I went to Rice. Him and Jay went to Andrew Jackson.
Oh, they went to Andrew.
Queens.
Okay, cool.
But ninth
even know
grade,
you went
10th
to
grade.
Rice,
Yeah, I
man.
went to Rice 4 years. 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. I graduated. Got accepted to St. John's University. Ran home, wrote a rhyme
Let me ask
about
you a
it.
question. When you went to St. John's, was Mark Jackson around at the time?
No, Walter Berry.
Walter Berry was around.
Mark came after I had left. Yeah. So I wrote a rhyme about it. That was June of 82, August of
Born that summer,
82.
baby, June of 82.
Really?
Right? Yeah, I was born.
So
Born June of 82.
August of 82, the phone rings. It's Joe. Yo, D, what's up? Remember 4 years ago when I said if my brother lets me make a record, I'm putting you in my group? I'm like, yeah. Grab your rhyme book. We're going to the studio to make a record. So August of 82, we made It's Like That
And that's the
and Sucker MCs. Boom, tet, 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 tet. 83, the record dropped. That's how Run was already knowing he was going to be in it. I was just doing it. It was just a hobby to me.
Hey, you kinda
Run
just-
was going to be a solo artist. If you listen to Sucker MCs, Run rhymes 3 times on a record because I originally wasn't on a record. After I had wrote It's Like That with him, Run was like, yo, you got to get on a Sucker MCs record. But Russell was like, no, we don't need these. And Run was like, yo, just go in there and say your newest rhyme. My newest, because I was always writing about my life.
Yeah.
So everything that happened in my life, I would write about it. So Run was like, yo, D, just go in there and say your newest rhyme. My newest rhyme was about me getting accepted to St. John's University. That's why I'm at the end of the record, I'm DMC, in the place to be. After that was the day that Russell said, yo, this kid can go.
It's crazy.
Right? It's crazy.
I'm such a hip hop historian. It's like everything you're saying and the way you tell the story, it's like I could actually see it. You know what I mean? You're very articulate and animated. So I feel like I'm like living
You're there.
through you, yeah,
Exactly.
because of the way you're telling the story.
Right.
Yeah, I'm there on my bike driving around, looking in the
Yeah,
neighborhood.
exactly.
Yeah,
You can
I
see
could
it.
actually
You know
picture
how
it.
neighbor- Yeah, exactly.
So 84, your first album comes out, correct?
84 is the first album. Yeah,
84.
83 was the first single.
Single, yes.
Second single was so to Jay's question, we put out It's Like That and Sucker MCs, and it starts being hot. Tri-state area, Connecticut, Jersey, New York, Philly. Then it starts trickling down south. So now there's no videos, there's no album covers and none, but we getting called to perform.
Yeah.
So Russell goes, yo, y'all got some shows coming. Who's your DJ? And Run goes, oh, I didn't think about that part. So Jam Master Jay, Jason Mizell, he was the best DJ in our little neighborhood.
Yep.
So Joe goes to Jay and goes, yo, me and Darryl McDaniels from 197th Street. I know Darryl, that's Butterfriend. We made this record. You want to be our DJ? And Jay was like, what do you mean? Yo, we going to pay you to do what you're doing for free in the park. Because Jay was the neighborhood DJ.
Okay.
Jay was like, hold on, you going to pay me to do what I'm doing in my baby? I'm in. So that's when Jay got down. So when we put Jay down to be the DJ so we could perform, we only have 3 songs. We had It's Like That, Circumcised, and then we had Hard Times, which was a Curtis Blow song that we did off his album. We redid it. But we would show up at the shows and people would go, okay, that's Run, that's D. Who the hell is that third guy back there playing records? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, that's our DJ Jam Master Jay. So people didn't understand that we didn't have a band. Because they thought, because there was no videos to show what the hip hop was
They
doing.
didn't know what you look like then.
Right, even for us on the tapes, I didn't know what Flash and Kaz and all these guys looked like.
Yeah.
But you knew you was connected to him for the way they sounded. So I wrote the song, J-A-Y, all the letters of his name, cutting and scratching to explain to the people, this is what we're doing.
Yo, this is
so
so
then,
crazy.
after that, now people know it's Run DMC and Jam Master Jay. Russell goes, yo, we had 2 successful singles. Now remember, in the beginning, hip-hop was like disco. It was only singles.
Yeah.
It wasn't albums. So Russell Go 1984 rolls around. We buzzing in a way that hasn't been seen before. Circumcisers everywhere. Every hood across the nation. Circumcisers killing all the way out in
I don't
L.A.
know how I remember this because I was such a little kid.
Yeah, but
I remember
boom,
this.
tet was everywhere. So then, like you just said, Russell says we're going to make an album.
So
First
84,
album.
84 that drops.
Yep.
And then now we got Run DMC, Jam Master Jay. And just truth be told, right, I go by Jumpman Jay. I write JMJ because I was such a huge fan of Jam Master Jay.
so dope, John.
So, like, the fact that you're saying this and almost like really resonates with me because of like, the nickname I was given was Jumpman because of my sneaker collection. But I tell people, just call me JMJ, man. Like, you know.
That's it, Jumpman
got
Jay. I
that
love
from-
that.
Yeah, I got that from
That's so
Jam Master
dope.
Jay. So it's crazy how you're telling this story, and it's like New York is such a hotbed of talent, right?
Yeah.
Like you mentioned that all you guys lived in such a short
So
radius
area,
of
we're
one,
all over-
of one another,
Yep.
and it's like, and then you mentioned Mark Jackson, Walter
Yeah.
Berry, and these guys. I'm like, yo,
It was all basketball, sports.
and everybody is just like blocks away
Yeah,
from
it was.
one another.
It was. See, that's what's missing from the culture now.
Mm-hmm.
The neighborhood togetherness.
Yep,
Everything
took
is
care of
so
each other.
divided. Yeah, and we
Now
respected each other. You know what I'm saying?
true. That's true. Now,
LL was 5 minutes from us. We lived on Hollis. LL was on Farmers. 5 minutes from LL on Linden was Q-Tip and Fife. Over here was Davey DMX. 10 minutes up was Salt and Pepper. Like it was a community. That's what I was saying. It was a community.
I'm just getting this hip hop lesson right now.
And
I'm
even
loving
when
every
we went to
second of
New
it.
York, now the Bronx, Queens, and Brooklyn, we going downtown because Fab Five Freddy, he brought
MTV raps,
hip hop downtown, and now we're going into all the clubs. So you were going to a club in New York City, and you would see, oh shoot, there's Run DMC. Yo, there goes Bam. There goes Flash. Yo, there goes Melly Mel. Yo, there goes Blondie. Oh shoot, there goes Madonna. Yo, they go to Ramones. It was punk rock. It was hip hop. Keith Haring, Basquiat. It was artists, journalists, writers, filmmakers.
all underneath.
Dapper Dan, all together.
Dapper Dan.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
man.
it was all these people together.
So let me ask a question, right?
And our boys, you know what I'm saying? It was our boys, it was police officers, firemen. Butter, when I started making records, Butter went to work for sanitation.
Really?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Our friends,
I was gonna ask how he
our
turned
other
out.
friends was post office, the the people with legitimate jobs, you know what I'm saying? And it was at a time too where you knew who the drug dealers was, but the hip hop is so shameful. Hip hop celebrates being a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Like you knew who the drug dealers were, but nobody talked about it.
Yeah.
And they didn't even say, they wasn't proud of doing it. They did it. And they would even encourage, if you had talent, if you could draw, if you could bake, if you could cook, they would say, you don't need to be up on this corner.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
That's what's
listen to the
missing from
record.
today's culture.
Yes.
They don't have that OG culture where like, yo,
You don't need to do
you don't
this.
need to be around here. Like, yo, get out of here. I remember growing up
That's
and,
true.
and seeing
Remember?
kids outside doing nefarious things. And I remember there was always that
The
OG
G
that was
be
like,
like,
yo,
yo,
get up
get
out
your-
of here, little man. Like,
Yep.
yo, go down the block. We over here doing-
Now it's cool to do this.
it's wild. to me.
Yes.
It's
So
wild to me.
that was the New York we was in.
That's crazy, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to fast forward a little bit to 1985, Kings of Rock. It's one of my favorite records.
Right.
You know, Now, by that time, you guys got the fame, right? You got a little
Because
bit
of
of
MTV.
Yeah, exactly.
Rockbox, first album, Rockbox single got us on MTV. That was a game changer. Because now we in everybody's living room.
Yes.
Even the living rooms that didn't want us on.
You guys were everywhere.
Turn that off, turn it.
And I remember turning MTV on and listening to that.
MTV put hip-hop in everybody.
There is none higher. Like,
Yeah.
I remember these things. So by that time, 85 hits, you guys dropped the Kings of Rock. Like, what was going through y'all mind when that album drops? Because
First
now
of all, yeah, right.
you got some notoriety. You
Yeah.
moving
Now
around, people
we're
noticing you.
I'll answer your question. It's gonna be funny. Now we're doing. When you was little, music was either American Bandstand with Dick Clark or Soul Train with Don Cornelius.
Don Cornelius, God rest his
So for us, oh shoot, now we're doing Dick Clark, Don Cornelius stuff. Because it's funny. Hip hop was our thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, Run DMC got us being accepted in the recording music industry area. So now we seeing Stevie, we seeing Michael, we seeing Diana Ross, we seeing Cher, we seeing Bond. You know what I'm saying? Now we in the same rooms with them.
Yeah.
But our main thing was we never let we knew we had a responsibility to make sure the culture stayed genuine. So once we was in there, we was like, we're going to be the best DJs and MCs that anybody could ever saw. So our first priority still was our craft and our art form. Now, nowadays, I don't mind, there's people saying that to hip-hop that's not hip-hop. Because if you're rapping for the purpose of success in the recording music industry, you're just rapping over records recorded in the studio. Hip-hop is you got to have a DJ. Naughty by Nature always had KG.
Yep.
Tribe Called Quest always had Ali Shaheed.
That's how I know groups.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
always had a DJ with them.
Cypress Hill always had their, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nowadays, there's a two-sided entity of hip-hop that we didn't think would materialize, but it did because anything that is sacred, holy, in a customary culture to a people, place, nation, a thing, becomes diluted, polluted, destroyed, and poisoned once it's commercialized.
Absolutely.
So that's all that's happened now. More power to it. It's just like I hear basketball players go, I don't care about basketball. I got the skill. I'm just playing to get money. You can do that now.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make you great. Jordan and Kobe, they ball first, billions later.
Yeah.
So for us, our first priority was making sure our art form doesn't get disrespected like it's being done now. That's because nobody's taking our culture seriously. So when we get in all these rooms, our thing was we want the rock guys and these music people who think we're just a fad, who think we're not legitimate, just acknowledge us. So that's why Run DMC. I didn't call myself the king of rap. I wrote that rhyme when I was, 16 years old. My dream was not to be the best rapper. Let Mel, Curtis Blow, Kaz, and Mo D be the best one. I want Elvis Presley's ass to bow down to me when I walk in a room. And then, that's the power of imagination. Yeah. So when I wrote that rhyme, I want to be the king of rock. There is none higher. Sucker MCs call me son. You know what I'm saying? So it was a responsibility to represent, like me, Run and Jay always said, every time you saw Run DMC, you saw power in the dynamic of us as a group, even to this day. But when you saw Run DMC, you saw yourself.
I love that. That's
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That guy D with the glasses reminds me of, man, that guy Jay's cool like my uncle. That guy Run, he won't shut up. He's just like my... But when you saw us, you didn't see celebrity like you see. These kids now see celebrity, so they will do anything to be famous, as opposed to looking inside and saying, like, we don't need no more rappers. Run DMC made people say, man, I'm hip-hop, but I'm going to be an educator. I'm hip-hop, I'm going to be a CEO. Like, we gave everybody the opportunities to be themselves. which hip-hop gave to us. You know, people, when you say hip-hop now, the world thinks rappers.
Yeah.
They don't think graffiti artists, breakdancer.
Yeah, there was so much more of a culture early on. You know what I mean? We had graffiti, we had the breakers.
Right, it was all part of it.
Saying like
fashion people.
Yeah, so
now it's just you say hip hop, they think rapper.
Yeah, but like just so much
And a
more
rapper
to
who
it.
keeps getting in trouble.
Yeah, there's so much more to it. Like I remember seeing guys with the Kangos, the gold chains, the shell toe Adidas, which you guys brought
Put on
that
the
to the
map.
forefront.
But it was also Pumas.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Remember?
but like
but we
America
took
was
something.
looking at you guys and being
Yes.
like, "Oh, so this is the culture.
This
right? And you
is
guys
what it
were
is.
the beacon for the culture.
Yeah,
for the
we would
street
have
culture.
the poster child of hip hop.
Exactly. So there's one thing that I've always wanted to ask because this collaboration, I think, was what I think, and this is
The game changer.
a game changer.
86
would be
next year.
Aerosmith
Yeah.
and Run DMC. I mean, that record transcends because you took two different genres and now you molded it, right? And you created a banger that was ringing off everywhere.
Right.
And no one would ever think that rap and hip hop could ever coexist on
With-
one record.
exactly.
And you guys did that and did it very well. How did that come about?
Okay. All right. It's a tongue twister. Walk This Way isn't the first rock rap record like we discussed. First rock rap record is Rock Box. That was
Okay.
the start of it. It was me and Run rhyming over rock. Da-na-na-na-na. Then it was King of Rock, where we called ourselves the King of Rock.
Rock, yeah.
Then we made Aerosmith. So let's go back before 79. When Grandmaster Flash tapes, Grand Wizard Theodore tapes, Cold Crush tapes, Cool Herc and the Herculoid tapes, Jazzy 5, Bambaataa tapes, all the DJs in their crates had rock songs
Really?
as breakbeats.
Ah.
So Run DMC's innovative thing was when we started making rap records, we was like, yo, everybody's using James Brown. Everybody's using jazz, R&B, and disco and funk. Nobody's making rap hip-hop records. So we made Rock Box, we made King of Rock. When it's time for Walk This Way, we was like, yo, we're going to make a song over the album with the toys. Because we didn't know it was Aerosmith Walk This Way.
Yeah.
Because the DJs would scratch the name off the labels so the rival DJs couldn't see
bite
what
on it.
record you was
Yeah.
playing.
Cover your labels.
You had
They
to
won't
keep
bite
your
your
beat.
shit.
Right, exactly. So you, as a DJ, you want to have beats the other DJs ain't got.
Yeah.
So when you play this new beat, all the DJs is coming over to see what you got. So our thing was we're going to make a record with the album with the toys, Toys in the Attic, play number 4. So originally we was going to sample it. But at the time, Rick Rubin, who was
Shout out to Rick
producing the Beastie Boys at the
Boys.
time, and said, no, y'all should make the record over. Because remember, hip-hop was sampling.
Yeah, absolutely good.
But Rick said, make the record over. Because usually we just steal their music and make our own song of it. Rick said, do the record, this has never been done before. Do the record over exactly the way the band did it. 1986, do the record the same way the band did it in 74. Me and Rem was against it. Hell no, we got rhymes, man. No, I got rhymes, man. You see these? We got rhymes. Jay, rest in peace, was like, yo, that might be a good idea. So Jay and Rick convinced us to do Walk This Way Over. And don't just sample it, remake it over.
Remember the
But
video.
Rick took it enough right. In the video, Rick took it, because Rick was with the visual. Everything with Run DMC was the visual.
Yes.
The album covers Adidas suits. Back of the album, the leather blazers. So you seeing everything that you are. So even with the videos, you know what I'm saying? So the visual, Rick said, okay, we're not only going to remake the record over, and it would have been different if we didn't do it with them. But Rick said, no, we're going to have them in the video with you. So that was the game changer. So the two, you see.
What was that conversation like?
It was like this. We learned in the record, Rick calls Aerosmith up in Boston. Hello, my name is Rick Rubin. I know you heard of Run DMC. We're making your record over. Do you want to do it with us? Hold up, what? Who? We know who Run DMC is. Who you? My name is Rick Rubin. You know who Run DMC is. We're making your record over. Do you want to do it with us? Now, at this time, Aerosmith was in the studio working on that album with Dude Looks Like a Lady and Angel. Remember, great records, but they were so far gone, nobody cared.
Yeah.
So they were humble enough to say, yo, we like these rap guys. The good thing about Aerosmith, they respected us. You know what I'm saying? Even if, okay, maybe rap is going to die. You know, they thought rap was going to die in 3 years. Run DMC seems to have it going on, so maybe they got another 3 or 4 years. They never knew we was about to make it eternal, so they said yes.
That's wild.
And they came in to
Fun fact,
do it with
Steven
us.
Tyler, right, from Aerosmith, went to Roosevelt High School here in Yonkers. If you didn't know, now you know.
See how everything's connected.
Everything is connected.
Everything is connected.
That's going back to your mindset and your way of not only with music, but talking about hip hop now and then was like more of you had a mission and you also was telling a story.
Exactly,
Like,
right, exactly.
Now here, you know, you can hear some songs today and you're kind of just like, wait, I'm picturing this and that. I can't really in tune with it. But
Right.
even like if you're talking about, I don't know, it just hit my head like Eazy-E, right? Woke up quick at about noon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
It's
their whole
lifestyle.
story.
Yeah, it was lifestyle, for sure. Now, I mean, it's not, you got to understand, it's not, every generation has its music and stuff. What happened now is the record companies has labeled ignorance, stupidity, violence, profanity, and disrespect to promote it and make it accepted and easy to sell. They stamped it hip-hop. No, those records, they call that shit something else. It ain't hip-hop. You ain't doing what Rakim does. You're not doing what Melly Mel does. You're not doing what Run DMC does. You're not doing what EPMD does. You're not doing what Tribe Called Quest does. You're not doing what Cypher is. It's an art form.
Yes.
But to make stupidity, ignorance, violence, profanity, and just total asinine concepts, images, and ideas sell, they labeled it hip-hop. So I'm not talking, I have nothing against this new music. What I'm doing, they're trying to devalue and make people forget about my shit that created that opportunity for that to exist.
Yeah.
That's like me dissing James Brown when we needed his funky drummer beats to create this hip-hop thing.
Absolutely.
But we didn't do that. We uplift everybody we sample. We uplift. We talk about them. They exist with us. They're trying to they stamping bullshit hip-hop to fucking sell their shit. If you so confident that you so good, name that shit something else. So the OGs are not mad at what the young people are doing. We mad at what they ain't doing. And what they ain't doing is putting what we put in our so-called hip-hop records. If you're not doing what Run DMC and PE and Melly Mel and MC Light and all of us did, you're not hip-hop. You're a new form of music that was inspired by us. So I'm keeping it. And people say, D, you can say this. I have a right to say this because, you know what I'm saying?
It's actually crazy to hear you say that because like you're a pioneer, you're an OG in the game.
Right.
You are one of the first guys to kick down the door and say we
Right, exactly. So, and the old school dudes are happy, you know what I'm saying? And the people after me. Eric Sermon says this all the time. We're not mad. Eric Sermon, look at his interviews. They should have called that shit something else. You know, mumble rap. But here's what I'm trying to say. I was at a school in the Bronx speaking, and the kid asked me, yo, Mr. DMC, what do you think about mumble rap? So I'm 59 years old, right? At the time this was like 2 years ago. I'm 57 years old. So the kid knew what he was doing. I'm old, right? I'm supposed to hate it.
Yeah.
Oh, you kid, you young whippersnappers. I'm supposed to go all in on the mumble rap. He asked me that question. I said, I could relate to it. All the kids in the classroom were shocked. He's not here. Why would you say that? He asked me. I said, because they said the same thing about me. Hip hop, the hip, they ain't saying it's going to last. I said, the only difference between my generation and your generation is when we got criticized that we were below something, we stopped the mumbling and we wrote it like that. We wrote the message. We wrote Planet Rock. Tupac wrote Dear Mama and Brenda Had a Baby. We let them know, no, this mumble thing is our thing. We having fun, but you want to try to downgrade me and devalue me? Let me write this record called It's Like That to let you know I know what's going on. I told the kid, yo, I didn't change the world when I was 50. I didn't change the world when I was 40. I didn't change the world when I was 30. And I didn't change the world when I was 20. And I didn't just make records and videos when I was 20. We changed the world fresh out of high school.
Facts.
And the kids was like, yo, they did. I said, don't look at me, sneaker deals, no curls, no braids. PC heads still get paid. I'm one of the reasons why Yeezys can be made in the first place. Yeah, and the kids were, yo, bars. But the thing was, the kids were saying it was true. You know what I'm saying? So Run DMC, first to go gold, first to go platinum, first to cover Rolling Stone, first with the sneaker deals, first with the big tours. Everything that hip-hop is doing, we set it up for us to do. But now we're supposed to take that and do something with it. Bam taught me what the big street gangs, the Black Splades. And the 7, we were street gangs, but we stopped killing and shooting and selling drugs. And we created art that transformed not only us, but ourselves.
Let me ask you a question. So who do you listen today? Like, who do you consider as hip-hop today?
I mean, there's a lot of, don't get me, there's a lot of great hip-hop out there. J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. There's a bunch of underground groups, but the thing is, they don't play it on the radio every 20 seconds like they play all the other stuff.
Yeah.
You can play all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, kids, we are people learn by repetition.
Absolutely.
So here's what's crazy. Here's what I'm trying to say. They gave us the old school at noon. That's very disrespectful. It's very, why? They're giving you shine? No, they not giving me no shine and time to be recognized. The old school at noon, first of all, you're trying to play. We're playing some old shit at noon to make y'all happy and feel wanted. Don't play me at all. I'd rather, here's why the old school at noon is bad. Yeah. They call it the old school at noon, right? During the weekdays. Right. Now, where are all the kids at noon?
In school.
So do they hear me?
Nah, they ain't hearing you.
They hear me at 57 telling truth that I've been talking since I was a kid, but they don't hear the music that I made when I was their age. Mm-hmm. So here's another thing. They play the old school at noon from 12 to 1. Kids get out of school 2:30, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. When they get home, they turn on the radio. What are they hearing? Sip this, shoot that, bitch this, hold that, nigga this and that, boom, bang. When we was your age, we made sure that the radio during prime time was telling you go to school, you don't got to be in the gangs. We talked about being in a gang, but then we also said, you don't have to be in a gang. We talked about the guns, but we said, you don't have to use it. Yeah. That's why the hip-hop was making a change in the communities.
Yeah.
Now, shit is going backwards. Yeah. They're shooting more. There was always shooting in Chicago. Now this shit is all. They even created a whole genre called drill.
Drill, yeah.
Now, every music has, you have the white supremacist punk rock. You have, everything has its divisions. But classic rock, punk rock, all it exists at the same time.
Yeah.
And the punk rock, how Green Day loves the hell out of the Rolling Stones and respect them.
Yeah.
Now there's no such thing as a generation gap. That's something that's a man-made entity created to stop the evolution of a community. Ooh. It's a communication gap. The OGs and the young G's are supposed to talk. When I meet a young kid, I'm taking some of his ideas, and tomorrow my 59-year-old ass is going to the studio to make a record using some of those concepts.
Yeah.
They want to separate us so there's no growth.
Damn,
you know what I'm saying?
No, I never looked at it like that. Because like me, I'm 41 years old, soon to be 42.
Right.
Right. I'm sitting here with a pioneer, and everything you're saying, I'm hanging on to every word that you're telling me because you lived it. And if it wasn't for you, like, my childhood experience would be so much different because I grew up loving hip hop, right? Man. Because of
so the
like
same thing, right? The same thing you're getting from me is the same thing I got from Mel, Mo, and Kaz,
and should be passed down.
Yes,
but what they're trying to do is they're trying to
separate that because that's where our power is.
Wow, I never.
That's where our power is.
I never.
They learn and pass on.
Yeah. When you watch all of these movies on Netflix, for instance. The power when you're watching these tribes and these generational wars and stuff like that, the reason why the motherfuckers without the laser guns always win is because the elders are telling the stories to the young people.
Yeah.
That the other people don't know about. They don't know about the real things. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you a question, right? 50 years of hip hop.
Yeah.
Right, just passed. All right, you are a 59-year-old man.
Right. So I've been involved 40 years of the 50 years of hip-hop.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
like, you
crazy.
got a big chunk of your life is hip-hop history.
Right.
Like, how did you feel about hip-hop turning 50? And as far as you being involved in the celebration of it, how did that go about? Like,
right. Well, hip-hop turned 50 years old. We still got a lot of work to do. Because all we really did in 50 years is prove we could sell records.
Okay.
Now, I mean, yes, everything is a fad. We know it's not a fad. We selling records. We in coliseums and stuff like that. But now that we got all of this notoriety, power, and money, what are we doing with it? So there shouldn't be a hood on earth connected to hip-hop where the schools are run downs, where the after school, where we at. You know what I'm saying? So now that we have all of this, what are we going to do? It seems like we're just celebrating the fact that we in the rooms with other people that took advantage and oppressed us all these years. So we got a lot of work to do. Now, here's how the work is done. Number one, do what you're doing here. Have podcasts is about, hip-hop dictates what we wear, what we drive, how we talk, how we walk, what we something like that. We got to teach people how to live and succeed. We got to teach people how to do. The message was a mental health record. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I can. Don't push me. That was a mental health record written by kids who were watching their mothers, fathers, aunts, and uncles go crazy.
That's wild.
So the young people spoke up because we're looking at the elders go through something. And the elders are continuous telling us, do the right thing, do the right thing, do the right thing. So we figured out something to create so we could do the right thing. But we don't just speak for ourselves. We speak for everybody.
And they hear it and they say, wait, I'm not the only one going through this. There's other kids like this and even older elders that have been through this.
The Ghetto Boys. My mind's playing tricks on me. I'm shooting and saying, because Scarface wasn't saying, praise me because I'm selling drugs. He was saying, Lord, show me. And at night I can't sleep. I toss and turn. There's got to be another way. Bushwick Bill, he's high on fucking lean. Punching, there's nothing there. Willie D. paranoid about to shoot the ladies up at fucking Popeyes. They're saying this is what we live in, but we ain't got to do that. Yeah. You don't hear that no more. Now they're saying, nah, I'm not. We are looking at people use negativity as a false sense of power. The most powerful thing is the negative guy that lived a life telling you not to do the negative thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what we got to do now with the next 50 years of hip-hop is this, all right? Turn the damn music off. Podcasts. We need writers. We need journalists. We need more of what you're doing here to talk about all the issues. When the hip-hop party ends, everybody goes home and they go back into life. There's nothing in hip-hop representative of every... Will Smith, parents can't understand what's necessary.
Yes, absolutely.
He was saying something true. I don't care if you're in a gang and live in Compton and you live in Beverly Hills. What he was saying was universal. It's universal. But now we have the opportunity to use technology to hip-hop's advantage. I remember we was on tour in 1988. Run DMC, Eric B. and Rakim, EPMD, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, and Public Enemy on tour. And the talk came up, what is the most powerful thing about hip-hop? Yeah, we in coliseums now. We doing stadiums. Running them got us getting sneaker deals. We doing movies. We selling records. We're touring. We got businesses. Chuck D said, yo, the most powerful thing is there's always a mic. There's always a camera. We're in movies. We're on TV. Power communication. So now we have to utilize what everybody's overlooking. The record companies and the powers that be pump more of the records and those images into the kids so they don't get nowhere. Killer Mike told me, he said, man, when we saw all of you, De La Soul, Run DMC, even Eric B. and Rakim, let's start with them. They had the Dapper Dan suits. Yep. They had the gold chains and the diamonds and Rolls Royces on their album covers. But when Rakim opened his mouth, he didn't say, I'm a stick-up kid, I'm getting money. The streets would have loved him. He said, I used to roll up. This is a hold-up. Because now I learn. When he said that, the God MC said, he don't do the hold-ups no more. That was the powerful thing. Yeah. But then they're going to ask you, what do we do then, motherfuckers? So it's hip-hop's responsibility to show them. Killer Mike said, man, when we used to see you guys coming out of New York, this blew my mind. He said that when you look at the young kids today that's making these records and stuff like that, and all the superstar guys, right? When they take their picture, they move out the way so you can see the car. When they do the pictures, Killer Mike said they hold up their chin or they point at the watch. Killer Mike said we was powerful. We had gold chains, Benzes, limos, and Rolls Royces, but we would point at ourselves. So you see, it's a self-esteem issue here going on in the communities. A self-esteem issue that hip-hop once addressed, where you would see transformation of individuals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get out the game. Man, I want to get off the corner. Fuck it. I'm going to go get a degree and go away to Syracuse. I don't want to be here. You get a degree, you could go to USC. You could change your environment. Now they're just pumping the material that exists in our communities here, but they showing us that's the only way. It's only the gun. No. Listen, what happened to the fully clothed woman in hip-hop who doesn't call herself bitch a hoe but calls herself a queen like Latifah? What happened to the Moni Loves and the MC Lights? The majority of girls in hip-hop is half-naked, calling themselves bitches and hoes and twerking every minute. Fully clothed with a briefcase saying, no, I run and I own. You don't see that in hip-hop. Tell me why. Because somebody knows how to create it. The arts and language and literature and creativity and fashion and style and music and poetry and drama and acting, the arts succeeds where politics and religion fails. Politics and religion fails because politics and religion only wants followers. Hip-hop music, the first thing I do as a dictator before I send my troops in there to whip your ass, before you do that, it happens all throughout history. What's the first thing the dictator does? Go to the museums, destroy all the art, destroy the paintings.
History.
And after they destroy what's existing in history, to prevent the history, I'm going to come get y'all first to shut y'all up. Go get the journalists, go get the reporters, go get the writers.
Yep.
Now I could come in with to whip your ass because you have nowhere to go. That's what they're doing in hip-hop right now.
Oh, man. I never,
That's what they're
I never
doing
looked at it
right now.
when you break it down that way, it makes plenty of sense.
Yeah. Because we were speaking, the NWA was necessary. But what happened? Once, NWA sold 2 million albums, so we don't want another De La Soul. You could come in being as creative as Stretch or Run DMC or PE, but they're going to tell you, that's very good, you're very smart and innovative, but could you be a little more like Ice Cube on that NWA record?
Yeah.
No, that's not who I am. Here's $1 million. Motherfucker, bitch, help. That's what's happening. When we know, okay, take the check, make that record, but then make a record that'll go against what you just said. We don't do that in hip-hop no more. Like kids would tell me, y'all were very materialistic. Yes, we were. I said, but look at me and Run. We rhymed about our sneakers one time and you didn't hear it no more. Yeah. All I needed to do was say it once.
One time.
And because I said it in a positive way, Adidas called me. Gave me I don't play no basketball, none. I'm not athletic, nothing against the basketball players, but I got a sneaker deal just like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
You guys were
you know what I'm saying?
To get a
so 50 years of hip hop, we're now at a position now where in the next 5 years we got major work to do. In the next 5 years we got major work to do.
Damn, I'm happy you broke it down that way. I never looked at it that way.
As
changing my perspective on a lot of things.
You know what I'm saying? As hard as these guys are, they would be even harder if they just put a little bit of the responsibility back in our hip hop. That's all.
True. Like I always speak about my brother Styles P, who was active in the community.
Yes.
On several levels. He puts juice bars in food deserts.
Right.
He's out there giving turkeys away at Thanksgiving.
And on Instagram, he talks sense.
Yes. And that I call him my big brother because I can call him on the phone. We can have a conversation and he will give me the gems that I need to get me through my day.
And he didn't just start doing this. He was a young soul.
Yeah,
he was a young, and that's, you know what I'm saying? The locks, it's just crazy when people say, well, you do? Everybody that came after me, I look up to them. They inspire me. I'm older than all of them. And when Tretch came out, look at Naughty by Nature. They made a record about sex that didn't go bitch, pussy, fuck. OPP, he said, you got to be creative to do that. It's a sex record. Yeah. But he knew how he needed to do it. You know what I'm saying? What's the record when he said ghetto bastard? When he talks about, I was a kid, I ain't have nothing. I have a father, this and that. You know what I'm saying? When you listen to all the records, he's telling you he's coming from this environment. But he's communicating in he didn't even say pussy on the sex record.
takes more creativity. to
Yeah,
do it that
that's
way.
what, exactly.
You
And these
know?
kids, what we're saying is, these kids have it in them to do that.
You think they're dumbing down the?
No, hip hop has just become easy
Uh,
now. You ain't even gotta say nothing to have a hit hip hop record.
yeah, you just gotta have a
Think
beat.
about it. You can auto tune an AI anything you want.
Oh
and say that
yes,
was
all
me.
right. No, you don't even gotta be a fucking rapper to have a hit record. Just emulate the beat and
You
say
can go down to
something.
Miami
listen.
and rent a car out and say it's mine.
And it's
take
not
a
against
picture.
that.
There's nothing against it. Like I was just saying. This
I'm
the
just
other
mad
day.
they calling it hip hop.
That little Uzi Vert, right? That was that I Just Want to Rock. He don't say nothing on that whole album, on that whole track. It's literally just a beat. They created a dance, and then that was that.
Yeah.
He's not rapping. He ain't got no bars.
Right.
It's just a beat, right? It's catchy.
It's cool,
Nice
right?
little
No,
dance.
they love it. Don't call it shit hip hop because then it's going to downgrade with the thing
That's
we
the whole
created.
fact. See, you know, you got to. I'm happy. I
I'm
get to sit
fighting
there
for
with
hip
an
hop the
OG.
same way somebody would fight for jazz.
This is the art
That's all
form
I'm
I
doing.
grew up on, and I should take it a little bit more seriously because the way that you put it, you're absolutely right. I never looked at it like that. It takes somebody with a different lens for me to see it, but
Exactly.
I'm happy I'm sitting down having this conversation to hear that because I was not thinking that way.
And then just yesterday, if I was saying this yesterday, somebody said, damn, but the easy way out, let's just create hip hop again. Let's bring back all the elements. And here's what's crazy. Here's what's really bad. New York City, right? It's where hip hop started, right?
Sedgwick Ave. Boom.
You know what I'm saying? Just like everything started somewhere and you can never forget about it. Breakdancing is now in the Olympics. Next year, I believe. Breakdancing is in the Olympics. That's huge.
Absolutely.
Do you know that America is not participating?
Yes. It's like Japan. There's all these other
Everybody.
Yeah, it's everybody but here.
Except the
And the
United
birthplace.
States of America. That is so messed up and disrespectful. That shows you that America's full of shit. I'm saying it right here. America is full of every global nation is celebrating the fact that breakdancing is in there and America is not supporting it. So when the Olympics start next year, me and some breakdancers, artists, MCs, creators, writers, journalists, and educators, we're going to do the international breakdance competition in celebration of breakdancing. And the tagline is, why are we doing it? Because America sucks. How are you going to have breakdancing in the Olympics celebrated by Japan, Germany, France, and they're great at it. They respect our culture. They praise it. They don't dumb it down. They don't profane. And America's not in it.
That's wild.
People that
That's wild.
So we have a big problem, hip-hop. 50 years of hip-hop, and we just getting started is my new tagline.
We're just getting started. Speaking
So
of,
to give the breakdancers a chance, here we creating our own competition.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like Coca-Cola, I'm coming to see you.
I'll take a Diet Coke.
Chuck always say, D, you got to go see Coca-Cola because what you represent for.
DC.
You're going to have to sponsor us, the international breakdance
Now, do they give a
competition,
reasoning,
so that America wakes up and supports our great culture and creativity of we come from the place y'all come from, Coca-Cola. How is breakdancing going to be in the Olympics and America doesn't have a team? It's crazy.
Did they give a reason, or they just say we're not doing it?
I don't know why. I got to find out. All the breakdancers are just.
I'm gonna do some research.
It's crazy.
Listen, speaking of